I'd like to show you a chess game I played against ardool50, and it's a 5-minute chess game. I'm playing the white pieces, so let's see what's happening in the game. I play a usual opening, e2, e4, and he's answering on my move also with his e-pawn. My next move is going to be the c-pawn. I'm also heading for some space in the center, and he's answering it with his d-pawn d75. So this is not a very familiar opening to me because I usually play something else, but from time to time I try to see how I can come up with new ideas. So I'm I'm capturing his pawn with my c-pawn. He's capturing back, and at this point I chose not to capture back because I didn't like the idea of having an unconnected pawn in the center. But anyways, I will have an unconnected pawn, which we'll show later. So I'm moving my e-pawn ahead to e5, and he's going to answer it by heading for more space in the center with his c-pawn. So now you see that he's all in this space here, and I have to see what I can come up with. And at this point I thought, okay, I need to develop my bishop, and it's always good to develop a bishop with a check. So I get my bishop out of out in the open, and well, he's of course answering it with his also with his knight. So okay, my next move is going also a developing move with my knight to f3. It's a developing move and also protecting my pawn, of course. Okay, he could not take my pawn at this moment because it would have been checked then. So that's why he does not like he really does not like my bishop, so he's going to attack my bishop with his a-pawn. And well, here I'm always analyzing my games afterwards with a good chess engine, which is in this case Stockfish. It's a very good stock engine. And well, Stockfish says I should have captured the knight with my bishop, which I chose not to because I thought that he would have a good pawn structure in the center. He might have more space in the center with his pawns, and I didn't like that, so I thought, okay, I will retreat back to the a-square, a4 square with my bishop, and then if he still keeps on attacking, which I thought he's going to do, and he actually did it, I will retreat with my bishop to c2. So let's see what he did. Of course, now if you see this position, I think he's clearly ahead of me because he's got a strong pawn structure. He's got his bishop out. I only have a bishop and one pawn out. Well, my bishop, my white bishop, is also developed. It has some room to go to. Okay, now let's see what he did. He developed his knight, but which is inaccuracy because he's developing his g knight, his g8 knight, and but blocking his bishop then, yeah. Okay, at this point I castled. This is a very I thought that's the best thing to do at this. Castling should not be a bad idea. And now check this out. He had moved his knight twice in the opening, which I think we're still in the opening, and I think moving a piece twice in the opening is always not, well, I moved my bishop twice, okay. But you see, it was not a good idea, and I think my position early on was not as good as his. But now, yeah, I mean, he want to have his bishop unblocked, his black bishop, and also my pawn. Now he's with two pieces on my pawn. I'm only protecting it with my knight. Now I'm heading with. I have to develop my d pawn, of course, to the center. Okay, and now he's capturing it, which is also an inaccuracy, says the computer. Okay, I'm capturing back with my knight, and now he's able to capture my pawn, and he has a passed pawn then, because there's no pawn on my side which can stop this pawn, except maybe a major piece. Okay, now he's of course going for it. He's going for the pawn, which is not always bad, but if you play against very good players, then this is a bad idea to leave your opponent to be one piece ahead, even if it's only a pawn. So I think I want to develop now my my pawn, and also I'm going to develop my f-pawn and tell him to go somewhere else with his knight. And remember, he did not castle yet, and he's still got a bishop in the way, so he can't even castle at this point. Okay, what he's going to do now? I think he's really doing a bad move, which is a mistake. He's blocking. He's going to block his. I mean, he can play his knight to c6. He can't, but he could have played his knight to where? Now let's see. Knight c. He played this one here. Knight d7. And he should have played. Hold on. He should have played. Okay, now you see. He should have attacked my queen at this point. Okay. And then let's see how it would. Okay, now you see that he's got a good move with his bishop. Okay. Now you see why it would have been better. Now you can see he's all over the center with his bishop, knight. They all have a good position. His queen has a good position. All his pieces are pretty good aligned now. Okay, but he didn't play that. So he played a different move. He retreated with his knight to d7. And now I thought, okay, that's a good idea. I'm going to attack with my knight, his queen. But I didn't see one thing. I didn't see that the queen could have played. He didn't do it, but he could have played with his queen to b6 and with a check. And this knight is not protected, so I could have only played back to d4. Losing a move. I would not have lost this knight, but it's losing a move. Even though we're in the mid game, I still have a lot of pieces to develop. So it was not the best move, but I should not have played it. But he answered this move not very good, so he played just he just played this move with his queen to c7 and attacking my knight, but missing the check, which would have been better because then I would not have been able to capture with my queen the d pawn back. So now, after I capture the d pawn back, he's not even able. He lost his advantage in my So it's now more or less okay. What does he have? I have a knight at a pretty good position at this point. Yeah, his pieces. Okay, so my knight and my queen, and he lost his pawn. So okay, let's go ahead. So he's coming out with a check, which is okay. It's protected by the knight. It's all right. So the only thing I can do is move ahead with my king to the h square, h1 square. So okay, now what he's gonna do? He's probably going to castle. Yes, okay, castle. Yeah. Okay, now which pieces? Okay, now you have to watch one thing. He castled, yeah, okay. And you see, this is here. You see a fork only protected by his knight, and my bishop is on his knight here. If I take his bishop out, I can fork. I can come with a fork. No, he's also with his bishop on that piece. So they're gonna be, but it's still there's an important part. Does this fork here play? So he's with his bishop and his knight on this e7 square. Okay, let's see what happened. I'm attacking his bishop because to tell him to go somewhere else. I don't like his bishop at this point because it's protecting, like I said, this fork here. And he's doing the right thing for me, retreating. So now you see that this square is only protected by his knight. So let's see what's going to happen. Of course, I take the knight out, and now he's taking it back. Okay, at this point, I think my position is not really bad. It's even, more or less it's even, I think. Huh? He's got, okay, you see his bishop, he's got a lot of, he's protecting a lot of squares here, and I have a nice fork. Where can he go with his knight? He can go with his knight to f6. Let's see what's going to happen. So that's why, okay, I am playing the bishop b2, which Stockfish says is not the right thing to do. But I did it. He says I should have done something else. He says I should have played the fork earlier. But I didn't. Okay. So Stockfish said I should have played the knight first, but I did not play the knight first. I played the bishop first, and yeah, and now he's probably coming with his knight. No, not yet, which is a blunder. He blundered. Okay, now he thought he's twice with his bishop and his queen on my knight, thinking that he will lose a strong piece. And which is the knight, thinking that I will lose. So he, okay, but of course I can still fork, and I'm coming with a check here with my knight e7, and so we'll have enough time to move my queen somewhere else, okay? And now I'm exactly doing it. He can't take my queen because it's check. And he's got to move with his king. And he's moving in the corner. So you see, now it's time to move my queen somewhere else. Of course, I'm moving my queen. Okay, now you see that he's got only one move with his king to go. So if I'm somewhere on this side with my queen, I'm pretty sure I can play. This is a checkmate, more or less. So I'm moving my queen to the G5 square, and my next move, of course, I'm planning to move my queen to G4 in order to checkmate. He's of course seeing it, and he will play his knight here to the F6 square. And now I have my lovely bishop here. Okay, and my bishop, of course, will head for the knight. He will take it, and I'm going now with my queen to H6, which is a checkmate. So, yeah, okay, so what can you say? This was a pretty quick checkmate.